Hello and welcome to another episode of Never Onside. Hi, this is Joseph, and joining me as usual is Mayur. We are in the middle of the international break, and we just had a great game week last week, but we kind of missed out on the podcast. We didn't do it last week, so here is all the recap of the top four leagues in the world and what transpired in the Premier League specifically. So let's get into the review. Yeah, so this is how things panned out in the Premier League. Definitely, Man City versus Fulham was something we hoped would be a one-sided match, but it turned out to be a one-sided match where Alvarez performed really well. Haaland and Alvarez performed really well. I, for one, thought that Fulham would play really well, but then they did show glimpses of resilience in the start of the match, but they couldn't cope with City's elite finishing. That's why the game ended 5-1, and the surprise was the Brighton Newcastle game where Brighton completely outplayed Newcastle. Brighton were coming off a defeat against West Ham, I think, and they did really well to pull off a win against a very strong Newcastle side who have not started the season pretty well. Yeah, and moving on to the Burnley Spurs match, this was an incredible match where we thought this was the typical Spurs which turned up, but then they turned it around with some mesmerizing goals from Son, who played as a striker. And moving on to Sunday's matches, I think Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Liverpool did play really well in that match, even though Aston Villa could have, I think, at least fared a little better with the team that they had. And the last match was the Arsenal versus United match, where Arsenal kind of um, thrashed us in the end. But it was a good performance from United. Till the 92nd minute, I was really happy with what happened. But then at the end, the Rice goal and Jesus putting the cherry on top. It was a great day for all the Arsenal fans because they could see United fans pain in the face because they really did us bad at the last 5 minutes of the stoppage time. So yeah, Mayur, what are your thoughts and what do you think of the Arsenal United match?
Yeah, interesting game. You had the chance to win it. You were just offside. United just staying offside, but it could have changed the whole game. And there were chances for both the teams. But in the end, you tried to push a bit hard, and Arsenal were successful on their counter attacks where they scored both their goals and players being in the right position. But
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
good stuff for United. Nothing to worry about. And now they have a good run of fixtures as well to
Yes.
come into play. So this could be the period where we can see United back in the top six half or top six part of the
Yeah.
table where they could be
If we
challenging.
can keep our players from beating their wives and their girlfriends to name at least 11 players on the pitch, then probably we can do good. But it was a controversial match, this Arsenal United one, because of
Yes.
certain decisions that happened. And throughout the season, I don't think the referees have started well this season because we could see even better consistency last year, and we are not building on what we did last year because this year there are a lot of controversies, some favoring United, some against United. The offside decision, the angles that were taken, there was some criticism over that. Then the Havertz penalty. I don't know, a lot of people missed the Hoyland penalty by Gabriel, which for me looked like a penalty. But I don't know if it would look the same for an Arsenal fan. But yeah, there were a lot of controversies, and also one game which we missed is the Arsenal Nottingham Forest match, Chelsea Nottingham Forest match. Nottingham Forest beating Chelsea at the bridge. This is something which is unprecedented, and Chelsea fans would be quite worried for the fact that they don't have a striker who can finish off chances. Jackson looks absolutely terrible. For the people who are owning him, it must be frustrating to have him, such a player whose XG is what 5-6, and he has scored just one goal. And it's bad for even Sterling, because even though he puts it on a plate, Chelsea doesn't seem to finish the chances. So let's move on to the other leagues and look